But first today, the UK's ambassador to America, Lord Mandelson, has confessed to carrying on his friendship with prolific paedophile Jeffrey Epstein for far longer than he should have done. This follows the discovery of pictures of them together back in 2003 and a letter in a birthday book for Epstein in which Mandelson called him a best pal. In the past few minutes, the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has said he has confidence in Lord Mandelson. This follows a new interview with The Sun, where Mandelson said he never saw any evidence of criminal activity and he very much regrets his relationship with Epstein.
I feel a tremendous sense, a profound sense of sympathy for those people, those women who suffered as a result of his behaviour and his illegal criminal activities. And secondly, I regret very, very deeply indeed carrying on that association with him for far longer than I should have done. And I regret very much that I fell for his lies. I fell and accepted assurances that he had given me about his indictment, his original criminal case in Florida. Like very many people, I took at face value what he said. With hindsight, with fresh information, many years later, we realized that we had been wrong to believe him. He's a charismatic criminal liar.
It's so incredibly interesting. He does go on to continue to say that I have no doubt at all that there's a lot of traffic correspondence changes between us. They are going to surface. We know they're going to come out. We know they're going to be very embarrassing. So we are assuming there is more to come. It's an interesting story. And where do you think Lord Mandelson now sits in amongst the upper echelons of politics?
Well, he's sort of like, he's really the person around whom the term spin doctor came from. He was the architect of New Labour coming back into power after sort of 17 years in the wilderness. You know, he was brilliant at his job in that respect. And I kind of think, why did he not look ahead and think, I know all this is there, all of these regrets and all of this, him putting all this out there would have been a lot more powerful if he'd done it without being forced to, in a way, which is what he's been forced to do because of everything that we're now seeing. But you have to set all of this against the context that we have a man in power in America, the leader, the supposed leader of the free world, who became president for the second time, even though people knew what he was recorded secretly saying about women. So we have a whole different kind of level of standards, I think, now in the people that govern us.
Do we have any standards left?
Well, you know, that's the big question, isn't it? But, you know, Mandelson wrote, you say birthday message, it was 10 pages. I don't think I'd even write that in a birthday message to one of my children. 10 pages of, like, eulogising about Epstein and how great he was. Now, this was 5 years before all of the Epstein scandal first came to light. And, you know, I kind of, you know, I think I believe him that he probably didn't know and he just was attracted to this, you know, life of rich lifestyle and power. You know, Mandelson's got a history of hanging out with very rich, powerful people. So I do kind of believe that. But then again, he did stay in his New York house a year after we knew that he was that he'd been convicted of soliciting underage sex, Epstein. So, you know, I think that's where the regret is coming from. But it would be interesting. Obviously, it's been giving Mandelson sleepless nights for quite some time. And I do wonder, that ambassadorial job is probably the most coveted in that world. It's a big job. I do wonder why nobody said to him, is there anything that's going to come out that might prove embarrassing, or maybe looked into it? Because they would have known, I'm sure, that this was going to all come out.
Well, I guess at the very least, it would make you possibly question his judgment, at the very least. Do you feel he should step down in light of any of this at this point? I know there's, like he say, he wasn't aware of anything. So, you know, let's make that clear for now, but
I think
how do you feel about
judgment
certainly his
is the-
positions is a big one.
Judgment is the key term here, because these, as you rightly pointed out, this is the upper echelons of a society and leadership. So if you look at the company he keeps, you know, they say, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. Well, look at his friends. You've got President Trump, you've got the Duke of York, you've got Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and then, of course, you've got Lord Mandelson. So you're not going to get any higher. And these are the people that lead us and judge us and everything else in between. And yet look at what is going on in those circles. I think it's deeply worrying. And it kind of gives licence to anybody and everyone to do exactly as they wish to, as long as they can caveat it with, well, I didn't know. Isn't it their duty to find out, discover and know?
Yeah. It just seems to be it's just another headline every day.
Well, I think that's the thing. I'm bored. I'm so bored with it. It's just scandal after scandal. And I think the public are bored of it. It's like, can you just all stop and do the job that you promised us you were going to do, that you're actually doing a really bad job of at the moment? And I'm bored that everything's just scandalous now around the world. And I think it's really depressing, and you lose faith in all of them. I don't believe a word any of them say anymore.
Well, that's terrible, because we shouldn't
right.
be... No,
it's my opinion.
No, the opinion is correct.
Thanks.
The feeling is really worrying, because we shouldn't be bored. They're meant to be leading and sorting out the mess that they've created.
Exactly.
However, we've become so lackadaisical now. We're just sort of... We expect it.
Yeah.
Which is really severely worrying, because if they're not going to fix it, then who is?
Because Trump is coming here next week,
of course,
on his visit, and Mandelson will be accompanying him.
Wish he'd come on Loose Women, that'd be a right laugh.
Oh, he's too scared, I heard.
Too scared.
It's the lack of accountability.
That's exactly it. And undoubtedly, this is sort of only the beginning.